So because of COVID, like, COVID was ramping in China.
Yeah, you guys had a new wave.
Yeah. And then I couldn't go back home to celebrate New Year, so we decided to celebrate together.
I felt really bad that he couldn't be with his family, so I was like, we can do all this stuff that you would do with them on video chat.
Yeah. And we make dumplings together. By the way, she made better dumplings than me. Yeah. She's just that good.
I don't know if people will believe that.
She made way better dumpling than me. Like, mine looks horrible.
But I'm pretty slow when I make them though.
Yeah. And faster.
Yeah, but his also
look bad. Look really bad.
Yeah. You can tell that he does faster.
Yeah, and we watched Chunwan. Yeah. If you're Chinese, you know what that means. Which is really bad.
只要咱们吃上一顿热乎的饺子，那就算是过年了。
I didn't understand any of it. I could kind of understand a little bit, but it was limited. He would kind of explain to me what was going on. The train song was kind of cute, like the mom and daughter song.
Oh yeah,
that was one, very beautiful.
Yeah, that one is good.
And I like the comedy stuff. That was good.
The sarcastic comedy.
Yeah, that's right up my alley.
你得解决问题，是不能怕事儿，更不能躲事儿，是不是？今天你敢打电话啊，叫保卫科，是。那明天，那你就能把我推。
Yeah.
That's a bit surprising to you.
Yeah. Like, I didn't expect, to be honest, for Chinese comedy to be funny to me. No offense, but usually foreign comedy won't be that funny to other cultures. I've seen the Japanese New Year show and it's bad.
那你
I'm sorry to Japanese people out there, but I feel like you probably also know that it's bad. So yeah,
it's fair.
Yeah.
And then it was Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I promised my sister I would look after her kids so her and her husband could go out on a date. If you have people in your life who have kids, please offer them that you'll take care of their kids. It's important to have romance in your life, even when you have children.
A long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you love your kids, no matter how much you love them, it's not that romantic when they're around.
So she was babysitting her nephews, Philip, Oliver, and Benjamin.
Yeah. My nephew's awesome.
Yeah. I thought she was done.
Yeah.
So I called her. But I didn't know she was still there.
And we were in the middle of making pancakes.
Yeah.
They got to decide what they were having for dinner, and pancakes was a hit. So I was making pancakes and I didn't really have time to talk to him. So I was like, do you guys want to say hi? Here you go.
I didn't expect that. I didn't expect I would talk to her nephews.
In my defense, he had already been like, our kids are gonna be cute. I'm gonna marry you. He had said that in week 1. This was more than a year after we had gotten together, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna spend my life with him, he needs to be good with kids, right?
Yeah.
And you don't really have like young kids in your life, so you never experienced what it's like to talk to children.
Yeah. I would say I was a little bit nervous and awkward in the beginning because I never had this experience. But it went really well.
Yeah.
Like, her nephews are so cute.
They really like talking to him. They just went off.
Yeah, and very outgoing.
Yeah, my nephews are very, very good kids. They're very polite, but also very... I'll say my nephews are more like adult-like in the way they'll talk to people. They're very mature in the way they'll communicate. Like I always say, my nephew, one of them especially, is very forward in the way he'll just go at it. So I was making pancakes, also partially translating. But my nephews are pretty good at English, luckily, so you guys could kind of communicate.
Yeah, and Philip can translate for his brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went really well. They showed you a bunch of their stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like, do you want to show him that you guys have medals? And they were like, yeah.
I like that confidence.
Yeah. One of my nephews have done judo. And he's really, really talented. Like, he's won multiple medals, even though he was very, very little. So
maybe that's why he likes me.
That is part of why
I have practiced judo.
Yeah, and he was like, what belt is he? It was very important to him.
Yeah.
So when he heard that Jay was a black belt, he was like, whoa, I'm gonna fight him.
He's so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, maybe I can teach him some new tricks. It was very, very, very cute. Like, they asked him if he had siblings. And when he said no, I was like, oh, you know, people this generation don't usually have siblings in China. And my older nephew was like, oh, I'm sorry. I was like, no, it's fine. Like, he's not sad about it.
Yeah, it's not offensive.
Yeah. He's not sad about it. But it is kind of sad, huh, that he doesn't have cool nephews like your Aunt Jules does. And immediately, my nephews just go like, we can be his nephews. He can be your uncle.
Oh, yeah. Without your permission.
They're like, you should marry Aunt Jules. So I was like, I guess we're getting married. We talked to them recently, and they were like, when are you marrying her? That was important to them. So,
yeah.
So
where are you gonna propose?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their question.
Yeah, because for you to have a wedding, you need to be engaged first. Very, very traditional mindset.
Yeah, very logical.
Yeah, I think it's very cute.
They're so cute. The border was open after the Christmas holiday.
Yeah, it opened in January.
Yeah, but you couldn't visit Denmark as a tourist.
Yeah, you couldn't apply for tourist visas in general.
Yeah.
So we were still in the waiting game. I also couldn't apply for a tourist visa to China. I actually think that was the bigger problem, if I remember correctly, because our original plan when we first met was that you were going to come to Denmark and then you were going to go back to China. I would probably visit him in China and then make the move after that.
Yeah.
But after waiting for over a year, we were like, okay, we're not going to risk it anymore. So your plan was that you were going to come visit me first.
Yeah. And then I can visit your family, your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People can feel a bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
Because I think most women can sympathize with the idea of like just moving for a guy you've never met is very, very intimidating. Like, you hear really, really bad stories of what happens to people.
And for your family and friends, I'm definitely a stranger.
Yeah, it sounds sketchy.
Yeah, it sounds sketchy. I don't want them to feel sketchy, so I wanted to visit them first.
Yeah.
But it was not that easy.
No.
Yeah.
So getting a visa to China is definitely a lot easier than getting a visa to Denmark. There's definitely a privilege with the Danish passport. I'll admit that. So from the beginning of our relationship, after we found out that it wasn't possible for us to meet up due to COVID restrictions, he had always told me that as soon as the border was open and he could be in Denmark, he would be there. But
so in March, we could finally apply for a tourist visa. But I was struggling getting time off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it sucks.
Yeah, I was upset, like very upset, because I think we had already talked about meeting in February, and then it had been moved to March.
Because the border was still closed.
Yeah, or there was like something. I don't remember exactly what it was, but we moved it. But then he moved the deadline again, and every time I would get so excited and tell everyone like, okay, I'm moving soon. So my life for this entire time had been on. Yeah. I didn't make any life decisions. I didn't buy new stuff in my home because I was like, I'm moving anyway. So my life felt more and more restricted just because you don't want to invest a bunch of energy and time into stuff that you're going to give up anyway.
Yeah.
But I had never imagined I would be waiting for a year and a half. So at this point, our relationship was really suffering because I was losing hope, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy doesn't even like put in the energy to come see me.
And I felt very apologetic.
Yeah. And then towards the end, because his exam also, like he took it a second time and it came at the same time that he was supposed to go to Denmark.
Yeah.
Like you kept just moving the deadline again and again and again. And the last time he did it, I got very, very upset. I remember like I was really giving up at that point. But we got over it because you promised you would be there. We finally set a proper date, booked tickets.
Yeah. We booked ticket, hotel.
Yeah. I got my visa to go to China.
Yeah. It was very smooth.
Yeah, I would say like I had to go to Copenhagen to do it, but it was fine. I went with my mom. We had a good time.
So the minute we got the news that we can apply for visa, I searched for that. The information I got is you can just go there and apply.
Yeah.
But I guess too many people apply for the visa because the border was shut down for 3 years.
Another issue is that the visa to Denmark apparently tends to be used by some Chinese people because if you get a visa to an EU country, you can go to any EU country. So a lot of people will just choose one that is reputable for being easy. Please don't do this because you're actually not allowed to do it this way.
No.
And you end up preventing people who actually need to go to that country from being able to go. But all of a sudden it was overbooked. So you couldn't get an appointment anywhere.
Yeah. So I was waiting to get my time off.
Yeah.
When I got the exact time, it was I gotta wait in line. Yeah. It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I finally got my appointment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really fought to get
like I was trying everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a crazy time.
Yeah. I was trying everything to get a visa. Finally, I got an appointment, and it went pretty well that day. Yeah. I mean, the visa officer just put a stamp on it.
But it was honestly, it was too late. Like it was so like the best possible outcome would be that he would get his visa like right before he was supposed to fly out.
Yeah.
So
it was like 10 days before.
And the handling time is around 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was very, very anxious. Like I had to pack down my whole life hoping he would get this visa, and it was the day before I was supposed to go to Copenhagen to pick him up from the airport.
Yeah.
And I hadn't heard from you the whole day, and I was like texting you being like, yo, so did you hear back? Because I was feeling very, very nervous and anxious. And then you texted me back, letting me know that you have been told that they needed to investigate it further because he was staying at my home.
Yeah.
So he couldn't go on a regular tourist visa. He had to go on an invitational visa. And because we hadn't met in person because of COVID, they were skeptical.
Yeah. I could be a illegal immigrant.
Which was so ridiculous. Honestly, Danish government, you're silly. Because I even put in that I had my ticket to go to China.
Yeah.
Like, we put everything there. Like, I was leaving the country, why would he stay? It was so silly.
You can say they approved my application, but it was too late.
Way too late.
Yeah.
You got the approval like 2 weeks after I had gotten to China.
Yeah.
So I had a complete meltdown when you sent me that message. I was so mad at you. I was mad at the situation because I didn't know what to do. Because at this point,
I felt really bad. I felt like I don't know what to do.
Because our agreement had always been that he would come first, and I wouldn't leave Denmark unless he had met my family. And now it was all down the drain. Should we cancel all the tickets? But then will he even be able to come? It honestly makes me very sad to think about because that was probably one of the hardest moments in my life. I felt very, very upset and let down in that moment.
Yeah. So Chinese people understand this. If you want to travel to any EU country, you gotta plan at least half a year ahead. Yeah.
It's not always that easy because there's, like, I think there isn't that many illegal immigrants coming from my country to China. And at least I think it's so uncommon that they don't really worry about it.
Yeah.
But there has been cases of Chinese people coming to Denmark and overstaying their visa more often. So the situation is just very tense with it, I guess. And we were just victims of that, but...
Remember that forum?
Yeah.
That they asked a lot of questions.
Like an insane amount of questions that I also had to answer.
Yeah.
So, I had my meltdown. I even called my mom because I was like, I can't do this. Like, I couldn't think clearly, and I didn't want to talk to him because I was so mad. Which I think most women will understand that sense of, like, letdown.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, you have a few options. If this is the guy you want to be with, then you only have 2 options. So either you decide to wait until he's here, no matter how long that is, but your life has already been on standby for so long, so do you really want to push it even more? Because I didn't have a backup plan anymore, because I thought he would be here that day. I would leave this day. I had already said goodbye to all my friends. It was so weird. Or you fly to China alone, and you risk it all for a guy you've never met. And I'm crazy, and it felt like the only right option, to be honest, the only viable option. So...
And I know she was taking a big risk.
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, I know I'm not a bad guy, but your friends, your parents...
I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it either.
Like, you should not do what I did. I'm obviously very happy it worked out, but in most cases, this is not going to necessarily work out that well.
Yeah.
So I flew alone to China, and it was very scary, to be honest. And he was waiting in the airport for forever. It took me forever to get through the, what do you call it, like the border control in China, in Shanghai airport. The funny thing was, they interviewed everyone for forever, and me, they were just like, oh, you're from Denmark. So I waited in a line for so long for them to just be like, yeah,
yeah, for nothing.
Yeah.
Julie!
And I was standing there for more than 4 hours.
My advice is if you're waiting for someone to get through Chinese border control, it does take a while. It did back when we went to Beijing as well.
I couldn't risk it.
No, I would have if you weren't there.
Yeah.
I would have killed you.
Yeah.
I would have unalived you immediately. No, it worked out. Now I'm here. Yeah. I've been here for
more than 4 months.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But don't do what I did. I posted about it on Xiaohongshu, and people were like, sister, please be careful.
Yeah, you're so brave.
Yeah. Everyone was like, you're so brave. But to be honest, it was the right thing for me to do.
Not for everyone.
No, I think it's worth noting that it's not my first time leaving my home country alone. I did in high school and went to a country where I couldn't speak the language, knowing less Japanese than I knew Mandarin coming to China. So I was quite confident, like, if anything went wrong, I knew what to do.
She's really an independent, strong woman.
That is an inside joke. Before anyone is like, ooh. No, I can definitely handle it. So, and my parents were like, if you need anything, you're just going to call us. So my parents weren't worried at all. My parents were like, she's smart. She's capable. We trust our daughter that she's gonna do the right thing, and they liked him.
Maybe I look like a good guy.
I don't know. No, but yeah, that's our story. A very chaotic story.
I hate pandemic.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think everyone in China understands the frustration with the pandemic.
Yeah. And think about it. You gotta go through that in a relationship like this.
Yeah. I would say it's already difficult doing long distance, but when you can't even meet, like you don't even have the option, it definitely doesn't improve anything.
and you don't know what you can do.
He's not allowed to go on any business trips abroad without me. That is one of the conditions.
Yeah. You're traumatized.
I am. I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
Why? So I have gained a man in my life and 2 cats.
I love you.
I love you too.
So now, you already live in China for more than 4 months.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
And we have experienced a lot together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've already seen three provinces.
Yeah.
Or is it 4? 4 technically if you
4.
count
Yeah.
me arriving
4.
in Harbin.
So we're definitely gonna post more about our life. For
Being
content.
a mixed couple.
Yeah, content about mixed couple relationship, the culture difference between Scandinavia and China. So if you're interested, stay tuned.
Yeah. I hope you guys will follow our journey.
Yeah.
It's been a long one. But yeah, see you guys next time.
See you.
Bye.